When I bet, I like getting something back, even if I lose. That's why I bet with Fanatic Sportsbook. When I bet with them, I earn fan cash, win or lose, and I can flip fan cash into bonus bets or use it for new Knicks apparel at Fanatics.com. Download the Fanatic Sportsbook app and let the fan cash flow. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut residents call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts residents call 800-327-5050. New York residents call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland residents visit mdgamblinghelp.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Knicks Film School Postgame Show Summer League Edition. I am Shawn with W. This is Zach with an H, and that is Mensa Smith. And we are here to discuss the Knicks' first Summer League game of the year against the Detroit Pistons. And on Casual Friday earlier today, I said, listen, there are two rules about Summer League. 1, do not overreact to Summer League. 2, do not overreact to Summer League. Mensa and I are not going to overreact to Summer League. However, good Lord, the Knicks lose. I had the final score. I think it was like 177. I had it right here before.
86 to 104.
104.86. It was 177. At that point, I poured myself one of these. Again, I'm not going to overreact to Summer League. It is literally the first game in which 70% of the players will probably not see a substantial NBA career. That's not a diss, but it's what it is. But I remember putting out a poll when the Knicks Summer League roster was announced, and it said, besides Tyler Kolek, who are you most excited? Who are you looking for to get the most irrationally excited about? And after today's game, the answer is nobody. And I feel like, Mensa, you echo the same sentiments.
Oh, absolutely. So funnily enough, 2 weeks ago was June 27th. And why is that relevant today? It's relevant because we in the Twitter landscape like to say that people shot tour dates. Well, the Knicks today shot June 27th from the field. It's fitting that it happened today on the debut, the coming out, the release of the Clips' new album, because boy, did the Knicks shoot bricks, just like the Clips love to rap about. So it was not quite what you wanted to see from the New York Knicks, especially from the foul line here. We're talking 12 from 24. You got to hit those at least. If you hit those, the game is a little more respectable probably. But we did not get what we wanted from the New York Knicks. And I know there's a lot of, so we can be honest, the eyes that fans were looking at most were Tyler Kolek, Kevin McCullough, Ariel Hukporti, and Pacome Dadier. Was there any stat line that I was looking for as a fan? Not at all. I wasn't looking for a stat line from these guys, but I did want them to go out there and show that they were a cut above the Summer League hopeful level of talent out there, right? And we didn't get that, just to be frank. Pacome Dadier ended up with a nice shooting line. I think he finishes here with 17 points, 8 for 13 from the field, 1 for 3 from the three-point line. Kevin McCullough, 13 points on 14 shots, not ideal. And then Ariel Hukporti in 20 minutes gives you 6 and 5 with 5 fouls. Wow. Not really what you want to see from a guy who was in the rotation at points last year. You kind of want to see those players come out and do what Ron Holland did. Ron Holland came out and he scores 28 points on 8 for 12 shooting, 4 or 5 from the field to go along with 11 rebounds and 2 assists in 28 of a possible 40 minutes played. That's what you want to see. Now, Ron Holland was in the 2024 draft, the 5th pick overall. So he's another level of prospect. So I'm not holding Kolek, who was a 2nd-round pick, Hukporti, a 2nd-round pick, and Pacom Dadier, who went 25th in the 2024 draft. I'm not holding them to the same standard that Detroit Pistons, the organization, and their fans should be holding Ron Holland to. But it is disappointing when a guy in Tyler Kolek, who graduated as a 4-year senior out of Marquette, known for his passing, finishes here with 8 assists, but also has 5 turnovers. That's not what you want to see. You don't want to see him shoot 0 for 5 from 3 against Summer League talent. It's not what you want to see. And I will say that we're not here to overreact to Summer League, but at some point, hopefully during this Summer League season for these guys, we see a little bit more than we saw today, because the Knicks, if they want to be a special team, a championship winning team, you got to win on the margins. And right now those margins are Tyler Kolek, Kevin McCullough, Ariel Hukporti, let's say Marshawn Beauchamp, he's on a 2-way contract as well, and Pacom Dadier. You want those guys there that I just listed. Even James Nagy, who's a guy who was picked 31st, and I think the 2023 draft, we got his rights. He's trying to come over. You want to see those guys show you a little bit more. And I don't care about a stat sheet. I don't care about anything like that. I just want, when they are playing the game, that they show us a little bit more. Now, Pacom Dadier looked good. I found Pacom Dadier. He picked his spots there, had a really nice block in, I think, the 2nd quarter of the game. And Kevin McCullough had a few nice drives. So, again, getting away from the stat sheet, I saw something. I need to see more.
Yeah. So the third rule of Summer League that I have is do not – oh, no, I'm joking. But the third rule of Summer League I do have is the performance that matters most is the 2nd-year player, and if they perform poorly. Like, you want to see the 2nd-year player who, again, has been in the league for a year, conditioning, fitness, diet, playing against grown men, practicing against grown men. You want to see them make a leap. And them playing very well is not as much of a red flag as a 2nd-year player not playing poorly. To your point, Ron Holland showed today that he's a 2nd-year player, and he's like Detroit has nothing to worry about with him, right? So he showed out. In terms of the Knicks, I mean, again, I'm not going to overreact. Like, I said to Jeff on Casual Fridays earlier today, the one player I had my eye on was Mohamed Diawara, because I wanted to see if he was either 2 years away, or, to quote Fran Fraschilla, 2 years away from being 2 years away. But honestly, like, he had a great pass at the beginning of the game, but I really can't take much away from this game. And that's because the Knicks, the Summer League Knicks, started off slow. They started off sloppy. They couldn't hold on to the ball. They turned the ball over, live ball turnovers. It was 6-0. It was 11-2, and they just dug themselves into a hole that they really couldn't get out of. Kevin McCullough Jr., he had a nice drive in the first half when he went baseline to score. I saw some things from him. Tyler Kolek, the passing is going to be there. What you want to see him to be more aggressive offensively, taking more open threes, getting to the cup. He had a very nice left-handed layup in the first quarter, but this gate has got away from him. And Jeff said yesterday during Casual Friday that his eyes are Pacom Dadier, because Pacom is the guy with the highest upside. That, like, to your point, Mensa, the Knicks have to win on the margins, and they've done a good job of it so far, with their free agent signings of Jordan Clarkson, getting him off a buyout, getting Gershon Yabusele on less than the taxpayer mid-level. But they got to win on the margins, and they have a strong 9, but they're going to need 10. They're going to need NBA players in spots 10 and 11. And so far, I think Tyler Kolek has established himself as one of those, but that's also because he's the best passer on the team. But no one has grabbed that 11 spot today.
Yeah, that's what you want. Am I expecting Tyler Kolek to go out there and look like Steve Nash or Mark Price? Absolutely not. I'm not expecting that. But I do want to see a guy who's probably played more basketball than anybody else on the court as far as just like his collegiate and NBA experience. I want to see him look more comfortable. And I didn't find he was comfortable out there. I didn't find he was dictating the pace. Ron Holland is a G League guy. He was a G League Ignite player, played for the Pistons, got some valuable minutes for the Pistons. He came out here and he dominated. He showed that he athletically and skill for skill, these guys are not on the same level as him. And now, does that mean that Ron Holland is going to be a good NBA basketball player? Absolutely not. But it does show us that he is an NBA basketball player. And what the Knicks need more than anything else, especially with how close up against the second apron they are, is they need the guys on their roster to be NBA basketball players. That's what they need. Right now, they have a really solid top 9, top 10. But you want to see, hey, can Pacom Dadier show us a little bit more on the defensive end like he did today with the block shot? Can Kevin McCullough, when he put his shoulder in that guy's chest, can he be a strong driver that way? Because we're talking about roster spots 12 through 16 here, right? And you can't expect the world from those guys, but it's going to be on Mike Brown's coaching staff to get more out of these guys. And I'm looking to see how they develop from today through the rest of Summer League. Today is the starting point, right? Can you be better in game 2 than you were in game 1? Especially guys who've been in NBA weight programs, who've had an NBA head coach. I want to see those guys show us who they are. Kevin McCullough and Pacom Dadier, Marjon Beauchamp, watching them play, I felt like there were glimmers of hope for us to hold on to. But a guy like Tyler Kolek, right? The Knicks just signed Jordan Clarkson. There are rumors of the Knicks being a team that's monitoring the Marcus Smart buyout situation, a team that may be in on a guy like Malcolm Brogdon. If Tyler Kolek wants to say, hey, you don't need to do that, go get help somewhere else, he has to show it on the court, right? This is pretty much his only opportunity as a player that the Knicks front office did covet. And because they're savvy, they didn't take him in the first round, even though they may have had a first round grade on him. They took him exactly where they needed to in order to slot him into that salary. And the Knicks are just excellent at winning on the margins, like we're saying. But hey, roster spots are tough in the NBA right now, man. And you gotta show us a little bit more. So I was mildly disappointed in the Knicks. I guess, young talent that they're invested in. I tweeted a little bit earlier that, and I was joking here. I was saying that Tyler Kolek can go figure out his career in Washington at this point. But hey, we just need to see more, right? And that's really all I really have to say about the game.
Now, listen, I've said it a number of times on these airwaves. I'll say it again. The Knicks fans, we are in an enviable position in terms of Summer League, because usually when we're looking forward to what players can do in Summer League is because our team stinks. And our team was 6 wins away from a title, and we had 4 guys who didn't get as much minutes that we would have liked in the regular season for whatever reason, which we're not going to rehash now. But we don't have to crash out if any of these guys are good. Now, listen, Mensa and I are not saying that all of them were terrible. Like, Dadier wasn't terrible today. Kolek, in the beginning, all those turnovers, you're the point guard, you don't see those turnovers, but he was pretty bad. But he settled down, whatever, right? So at the end of the day, listen, they have 4 games here in Vegas to figure this out. We'll see what happens on Sunday. I'm not going to crash out. I'm not going to overreact. It's okay, because, again, we were talking about spots 10 and 11, maybe 10, 11, and 12. And when it comes to guys who may play, spots 10 and 11. And, we have a head coach who, to be fair, listen, the head coach got introduced on Tuesday. So Lord knows what sets it, like Lord knows what sets they were able to implement and install before today's game for Summer League. But we do believe that this new head coach will be a little bit more liberal with his bench. So we will see guys in spots 10 and 11 play more. So listen, it's one game. Again, it's Summer League. We're not going to overreact to Summer League. We'll see how they bounce back on Wednesday. On Sunday. You just don't want to see your team get clapped. That's just annoying. It's annoying. Like, you don't want to see your team lose by 18 in Summer League, but it is what it is. Any last words before we get to the super chats, Mensa?
I was gonna say when we started that we didn't see our heroes show out, but my hero is Jalen Brunson, and he wasn't on the court today. And it just goes back to, like, we as Knicks fans are in an enviable place. I'm going to choose my words carefully here because somebody in the Twitter sphere said we didn't have to care about the draft and that went left. So if you care about Summer League, that's cool. I care about it too. I want to see the Knicks do well, but in perspective with everything else, the New York Knicks are a team with championship aspirations. You can argue that there's maybe one team that you can put ahead of them, and that's the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks should be a top 2 team in the Eastern Conference next year. Summer League don't really matter. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch your favorite players. Your favorite team have players develop, but we do not need to be crashing out over games on July 11th. We can instead enjoy the Clips album or the Give On album or the I forgot my guy's name. Boldy James just put out a great project. We can enjoy the summer. If you're a baseball fan, the Yankees and Mets ain't really playing too well, but you can put your stress in other places. Training camps rolling around. In actuality, it's not that big a deal that the Knicks didn't show up too well today.
And I want to give a shout out to the 591 people watching an NBA Summer League postgame show. This is why we're the best fan base in the league. Clearly, it's funny you say, Mensa, go out, enjoy life, especially the Summer League, especially in the summer, enjoy yourself, be outside. As you can tell, I'm not at home. You could tell this looks like a hotel. I'm at a hotel. I am not in Vegas, though, for Summer League. I'm in Jamaica. But guess what? I was like, you know what? I wanted to say, you know what? I wanted to watch one Summer League game and come on here and talk to y'all. And I don't have any regrets because I'll keep it a buck. I was watching the game poolside on my phone, but I did watch the game. I watched the game. But again, I'm not losing my shit over this game. And neither should you. If I see any of you hosting spaces tomorrow, trashing this team and tying the performance of today to what the Knicks are going to do in the regular season and how they're not going to win anything, I will find you and hunt you down myself and whatever. So, with that said, let's get to super chats because I bet you we got a whole bunch, and by a whole bunch I mean that much because again, this game was shit. So, all right, let's go. Jason, shout out to you. Good to hear from you. He says only one game, but that was extremely disappointing. Yeah, it was extremely disappointing. You want to see it's not even about the win or the loss. You want to see your team either put forward an effort that is worthy enough of winning the game, or you want to say okay, you know what? This player shined. And we didn't see any players shine, but again, we're not going to crash out. It's 2 games. Mensa, any thoughts on Jason's super chat?
Hey man, bring me Marcus Smart. Those are my thoughts.
All right. Let's go to the next. Thank you, Jason. And Mensa, you can read the next one.
All right, Kevin Danishevsky. Thank you for your super chat, my friend. He says, in my opinion, Dadier potentially being good is the biggest news. Yeah, because Dadier is a 19-year-old, 6'7", 6'8" wing who is showing flashes as a shooter and a defender. That is worth a lot in the NBA. So I was definitely encouraged by Pacome Dadier today, and I'm hoping that he can build on this performance so that by the end of Summer League, I can be an irrational fan, because that's what we do. We look for the things we can be irrational about, and we take it to the max. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. And guess what? That's all the super chats we have, because again, we should not be losing our shit over Summer League. I'll say this. This franchise, I was thinking about this the other day, like 5 years ago, so 2020, the Knicks had, to use a term that was thrown around a lot in the early years of the Leon Rose administration, the Knicks had no plan and no direction. I would say in July of 2020, I think Tibbs had been hired already, but you know what's funny? The bubble hadn't even started yet 5 years ago, because the bubble started at the end of July. And to think how far this franchise has come since then, without a top 3 draft pick or someone that they traded that got them a whole bunch of picks and young players, like they absolutely, like they had nothing. They literally started from the bottom. And here we are 5 years later. They're 5 wins. They were 6 wins away from a championship, 2 wins away from the finals. And we used to put all of our eggs in the summer team basket. It was like, is there somebody? I will never forget watching Kevin Knox kick ass in Summer League in 2018. I'll also never forget Zion Williamson ripping the ball out of Kevin Knox's hands in 2019. So, it is what it is. Just take your time. And we have another super chat, but it looks like someone just made a donation. SB8353. Thank you for your generous contribution. We appreciate it. And at the end of the day, look, Sunday, I make no promises to be here Sunday, because Sunday I may be, there's gonna be maybe a whole lot more of this. But you regroup, you figure out some things. Most of these guys never played together before. I doubt they're doing that much practice, but Sunday we'll see what happens. If you were hoping for the Knicks to win a Summer League championship, that went out the window, because you basically have to win the whole thing. But guess what? I remember the Knicks were in the Summer League title game, and I was in Toronto on vacation, and I went to a bar and I made them put it on. I made them put the game on to watch the Portland Trail Blazers throw like a box-in-one zone against Quentin Grimes, and I was like, but that's what we had to look forward to in 2022. So this is an enviable position to be in. Like right now, the play-in emeritus teams of Chicago and Toronto are playing right now. And listen, those two fan bases, especially the one north of the border, are looking at this game way more than we are. So we're in an enviable place. So that's all I got. Mensa, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nah, I think you said it all. I'm happy to be in. We are from the trenches. We are from the ghetto. We are from the projects. We don't know what it's like to enjoy Summer League from the mildly interested perspective. Summer League meant a lot more to us years ago. I remember the RJ Barrett Summer League when he got off to a poor shooting start. I remember the Obi Toppin Summer League, wanting to see him do a little bit more with Emmanuel Quickly. I also remember Quentin Grimes looking like he was going to take the leap and how excited we were. And then Quentin Grimes got his chain snatched by Dante DiVincenzo. We are in a place where no matter what happens in Summer League, Pacome Dadier can go out there and score 50 points next game. He's not going to be in the rotation next year because the Knicks have an embarrassment of riches in terms of talent on the roster. So I'm happy to be in the position I am. I'm going to continue to listen to the Clips album and the Giveon album and the Boldy James album and all the albums, and catch up on music and hip hop and all my other interests outside of basketball, because come next April, come next May, come next June, I'm not expected to be anywhere but in front of my TV watching Knicks basketball.
Well said. And we have one more super chat. It's from our friend Kevin Danishevsky, who says 2022 was also the Mitchell sweepstakes announcement. Little known fact, I joined Knicks Film School the day of the Donovan Mitchell trade. Like, me and Andrew had a discussion, had a jump to the Zoom, talked about things, and he was like, welcome to the family, welcome to the team. I was like, great. And then me and my family went to Rye Play Led, and then Donovan Mitchell got traded to the Cavs. And I was like, wow, okay. So again, look how far we've come. So, all right, we're gonna wrap that up here. Again, thank you for joining us. I am Shawn Hardie. That is Mensa. You have been watching the Knicks Film School Postgame Show, brought to you by the good people at Fanatic Sportsbook. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to this video if you like it. And if you listen, if you're here, and there's 608 of you, if you're here now, you clearly like our content more than a little bit. Drop us a like. Like, being here and not drop us a like is actually nasty work. And you drop us a 5-star rating. 5 stars. Not 4, not 3, 5. It's not us. It's the algorithm. 4s are basically 0. So drop us a 5-star rating or review. Wait a minute. We have one more super chat. They're just rolling in now. They're just rolling in. We have one more super chat from SB8353 says, just disappointed in Colette. Get me Cole Anthony. Dog, are we going to do this again? Like, I remember dudes fawning over Cole Anthony, and the reason they were fawning over Cole Anthony in the drafts is because his father was Greg Anthony. It was a Knick. So,
And he's from Queens.
And he's from Queens. Yes. So, like, listen, the Orlando Magic have needed a point guard for like 3 years, and guess who's been on the team the last 3 years? Cole Anthony. So I wouldn't necessarily do that. I'll say this in closing. When I posted a poll, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Mensa. When I posted a poll about which player are we going to get irrationally excited about, the options were, because I said Tyler Kolek wasn't eligible because we did that last year. The options were Bacom Dadier, Kevin McCullough Jr., Mohamed Diawara, or other. And the guy that got the most votes for other was Dink Pate. So he will be the guy. And listen, Dink Pate I have his box score right here. 1 of 8, 6 points. 1 of 2 from 3, 6 rebounds, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And I get it, because like he's like the guy, like the diamond in the rough that no one wanted. And if we get an NBA player out of him, same way how we got an NBA player out of Ariel Hukporti. And shout out to Ariel Hukporti, who, Ariel Hukporti has shown that he's an NBA player. We drafted him 58th, so I'm not expecting much from him. But, we'll see what happens on Sunday. But please, do not use today to say, this is why we need to go get insert NBA veteran here. That's all. Any last thoughts from you, Mensa?
I see his get me Cole Anthony, and I raise him a get me Marcus Smart. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Well, listen, the man has spoken. So again, thank you for tuning in. Again, drop us a like if you're here. If you're watching Summer League post-game shows, you need to drop us a like. Someone should be here on Sunday, and I make no promises as who it is. And listen, life gets in the way of things. Life be lifing. Man plans and God laughs. But someone most likely will be here Sunday to review their game. I don't remember who it's against. But again, we will not overreact to Summer League. And, I'm going to look up who it is. I'm going to look up who that game is against. But we are not going to overreact to Summer League. I know they're playing on Sunday against the Celtics. All right. Get hyped. Get hyped. Someone saw me today wearing a jersey. A Celtics fan saw me today, and I was wearing a basketball jersey, and he gave me the finger. And I was like, you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. So, for Mensa, and for my man Mark behind the scenes on the 1s and 2s, shout out to you. I am Shawn Hardie. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Knicks Nation, let's ride. If you're out on your bike tonight, do wear white.